Every year we provide lumber for local schools in our area, and this year we decided to do something crazy. We decided to give back to our community in a big way by donating this year's lumber supply to the woodworking program of one of our local schools. But of course, it wasn't easy. There were numerous challenges in the way, and in order to figure out how we got here, we need to go back a few months. Every year, Kendall and I get calls from local schools in the area asking if we could provide them with cheaper lumber than their suppliers. It always seems like they're having trouble getting the lumber that they need for the kids. And when there's low budgets, it's usually the music, the arts, and the shop classes are the ones that get cut first. So it dawned on us, maybe we can help these schools out, and I had the perfect school in mind. Now, Mrs. Johnson, you don't know her yet, but you will. Her and her husband are both shop teachers at different schools, and they've been coming to us every year to buy lumber. But we wanted to show our gratitude by helping them out a little bit. So then it dawned on us, like, can we even do this? First, we gotta contact the school, find the teacher, talk to the principals, find out if we can even do this in the first place. Some schools might get concerned about filming at their locations, and for good reason. I don't remember woodworking programs when I was in school, but then again, I was smoking a lot of weed. So maybe if there was a woodworking program that I knew about and got into, I might have had a different outcome.
One of the things that we do here is we have different schools that order lumber from us for their woodshop programs. Kyle was like, hey, maybe we should just give some lumber to the schools. They're always under tight budgets, they always need help. So I was like, yeah, why not?
I mean, it's great to give to those kids, but will it really have value to them? Will they really appreciate getting that wood for free? They might. But I thought, what if we were to work together with the school, say those students were to build some things that they could donate to a charity auction or donate to people in need. It could be a really good thing where they get something that's given to them and then they give back to their community. And it would teach the kids too not to just think about themselves, but to think about others, which I think has a lot of value.
So I talked with both the principal and the shop teacher. We'll get together 500 board feet of white pine for you, and then the rest in cherry and walnut. We'll get it banded together, and we're looking to make this delivery of this lumber sometime next week. I'm thinking Tuesday morning. Is that okay with you guys? Great. Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. All right. Thanks. Bye. Yes. Kendall, we got it. Woo! I thought we would. It was just the only hard part was filming at the locations. There are some things like getting permission slips from their parents, making sure, scheduling it, crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's ahead of time. So Kendall and I make some plans to get the lumber together and deliver it to the school. The lumber that they ordered included a couple hundred board feet of white pine. So Kendall got to work right away on our double cut bandsaw mill. And while Kendall was finishing up on that white pine we needed for the school, I got to work on sorting the cherry and the walnut that they needed and got it ready for the delivery the next day. We got 30 board feet of walnut to collect and 70 board feet of cherry. We all got to do this within the next 5 minutes ago because I got a church meeting tonight to go to and try not to be late, so let's go. As I mentioned briefly in other videos, I am in recovery. I've been through a lot of tough times in my life and I've got no one to blame but myself. However, looking back at over 6 years of sobriety, I realized the importance of a good impression on a child's life. All right, now that we got all 70 board feet of the cherry, we move on to the walnut last. 30 board feet, let's go. I don't think one program or woodworking class or even a teacher alone could have changed the course of my life, but a series of those things might have. But who knows? If I had one class or one teacher like the one you're about to meet, it might have been just enough to make a difference. That should do it. Band it up and get it ready for delivery tomorrow. Ready for tomorrow. We'll see you there. Pulled up to the school. Joe,
Hey, Kyle.
This is Joe Lattimore. He just took on the position of principal here at the high school just last year. How's it going?
Here, good.
Good. What do you think?
I think it's great. This is outstanding. It's great. Great lumber we're getting here for our students, and really happy that you guys were able to provide this for us. It's a great thing for our community and our school and our kids, so we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
This is kind of my classroom area here.
This is Ashley Johnson. She's the woodshop teacher we had mentioned previously.
Brand new time saver we just got here.
Ooh,
so,
look at that, yeah.
I haven't even used it yet.
I didn't notice this, and I was like, yeah, that's a beaut.
They're not cheap, so I got this with Perkins money because funding is an issue. But that
Speaking
was
of that, what kind of problems do you have when it comes to funding for projects like this in your schools?
My first 2 years here, this is my 8th year, I basically got no money at all. I was expected to work with what I have, which is what a lot of shop teachers in Minnesota do. We are lucky enough to be a part of a good Perkins consortium. We get a lot of big ticket items like this from that. You cannot buy materials with it. So like what you guys just donated to us, that has to come out of the actual school budget. The whole reason I became a shop teacher is because I had a great shop teacher when I was in high school and I wanted to pay it forward. Working really hard to get more girls in my classes, and this year it finally paid off. So I know not all the girls are super interested in building the CO2 car or racing it and being like #1. So I'm like, okay, do like the painting challenge instead. So I'm like, the whole reason I want them in the class is to gain the skills. And if that means that maybe they're not making the most intricate car, I don't really care. Just like come and use the machines a little bit. And if the thing that you're the most interested in is painting it, then I don't care. That's cool. So
that's brilliant. I think that's brilliant. It's been about 7 months since we donated that lumber, and today we're heading back to the school, meeting up with Mrs. Johnson and her 2nd grade class so that we can make some birdhouses using the lumber that we donated to the school last year.
Okay, so you're gonna need 2 from this pile. Everything else, you only need 1. Okay, so the first thing you need is this square bottom piece right here and 1 of your sides.
It's so much fun watching these kids try to piece it together first in their head. They're trying to piece the boards together before they get the screws in there, and some of them aren't getting it right, but it's so much fun.
Nice, you got it. All right, let's do that bottom one. Lovely.
What'd you say? I'm Mario? You know, I get that a lot. A lot of people on my YouTube channel comment and say that I look like Mario. So, what do you guys think? Now you got yourself an awesome little birdhouse completed. You can give to your mommy and your dad. Blue Jays, yeah, get more Blue Jays. You guys are probably building this better than I would. That's for sure. Now you got your birdhouses done, how many birds do you think you can fit inside of these birdhouses?
800!
800?
No, this is a really big 8,000 million.
8,000 million, that's a lot of birds.
Thank you,
At first, we were a little concerned about having children on the videos, but we soon realized that the best way, the only way, that we're gonna be able to teach these kids the lesson that we want to instill on them is by going back to the school and helping them create the projects themselves. It says in the Bible to not let one hand know what the other hand is doing. And here in this video, I obviously broke that rule. But with that being said, I hope I may have planted a seed in these children's mind. When the kids were building the birdhouses, I asked them about charity, but I didn't expect them to give me an actual response, even though that would have been nice. It'd have been a nice little cherry on the top. I wanted them to eventually link the idea of charity with this moment in their lives. So they could take these birdhouses that they built, that they know that they received from us for free, and they could take it and give it to someone else, be it their parents, their grandparents, someone they love, and maybe even create a home for birds in their area. But ultimately, I wanted to plant a seed. So when they look back at this, they could really see why charity doesn't stop at the person receiving the gift. If this inspired you to create something, it's best to start with an outdoor project. But here's the twist. The best wood that you should use for an outdoor project might surprise you. Hint, hint. This video right here is going to show you why we think that the best wood for outdoor projects is not what you think it's going to be. I'll see you there, brother and sister. Bye. You guys are still here? Get out of here. Get out of here. Scram. Go to that next video. Go watch that video I told you to watch.